Well, hey there, party people. Emily here and her wad of hair at the Movement Clinic. Today, we're gonna do a sweet little flow that's gonna open up your hips, open up your shoulders, really ideal for the modern person's body, which is someone who sits in a car, sits at a desk, is hunched over quite a bit, or, we just sleep funky. So, throw on something comfy, hop on your mats, join me for the next 20 minutes or so to feel nice and delicious and ooey gooey in the bod. For today's class, we're gonna get started in child's pose, a strong fan favorite. Go ahead, sink your hips to your heels. Knees can be separated nice and wide if you would like, a little closer if that's your preference. Stretch your hands out in front of you, nice active child's pose. Soften your forehead towards the mat. Allow the space between your shoulder blades to melt as the elbows lift. Smooth out your breath and take these first few moments to notice what feels sticky in this position, maybe stiff or tight, what feels open. Just scan the body. Take longer, smoother breaths in and out of the nose. And gently lift your belly away from your thighs or into the back of the body. Lift the forehead up enough so that you can walk your hands over to the right. Belly and chest face the right leg. Left hand walks closer to the right. Make sure your shoulders are level in space and sink your left hip away from your left hand, closer to your heel. Inhale, walk back through center, over to the left. Same thing, left side. Chest and belly face the left leg. Right hand walks a little closer to the left. Sink your right hip away from the right hand, almost as though you're making a C curve with the right side of your body. And inhale, walk back through center. Shift forward to hands and knees, all fours, palms underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Lift the low belly into the back of the body. Gently narrow your waist as though you could stretch your ribs out of your hips. Inhale, lift crown of the head and tailbone to the sky. Cow pose. Stretch your heart through your upper arm bones. Exhale to round, chin tucks into chest, gaze toward your belly button. Create a rainbow shape with the spine, cat. Inhale for cow. Creating a U shape with the spine. Drag your palms energetically back to your knees. Feel your heart stretch forward. Exhale, round. Really stretch the skin between the shoulder blades, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, cow pose, one last round. Exhale, cat. Inhale, back to a neutral spine. Walk your right hand over to the right middle of the mat, lean over to the left, pick up your right foot, step it forward, or grab the ankle and help it forward. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders, fingers both inside of the right foot. Lift the low belly up, maybe even shift your hips back to feel the low belly lift, and swing the right side of your body inside of the right leg. Walk your hands forward. Keep lifting the low belly, curl your sit bones under. And stretch the bones behind your ears out of your shoulders. Lengthen the sides of your neck as the torso gets maybe slightly lower inside of that front leg. Good, and inhale, walk your hands back. Press down into the front foot, lift from the pit of your belly, reach up, low lunge. Exhale, bend your elbows and squeeze your shoulder blades together to send your heart forward. Good, take an inhale here. Exhale, give yourself a hug, wrap your arms around you, reach for opposite elbows. Inhale, elbows wide, squeeze shoulder blades together, stretch your heart forward, send your pelvis forward any amount. Exhale, give yourself a hug, opposite arm on top. Last one, inhale, stretch forward. And exhale, give yourself a hug. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand down, underneath the left elbow, somewhere inside of that right foot. Right arm stretches up. You're gonna make a couple of big circles. Maybe bend your elbow and really focus on moving that shoulder blade in all directions. And slowly release right hand down inside of your right foot, shift to the left. Right knee moves back underneath your right hip. Left hand walks over to the left side of, or right side of the mat. Right hand plants. Shift to the right. Left foot forward, low lunge. Lift the low belly. Again, bring the entire left side of the torso inside of that left leg. Keep lifting the low belly. Curl the sit bones under. Lengthen your tailbone towards that back knee. As you walk your hands forward, lengthen your ears out of your shoulders and keep that torso softening inside of that front leg. Send your hips forward any amount, so long as that pelvis stays neutral. Low belly lifted, sit bones curling under. And walk the hands back, plant your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Lift from the pit of the belly, inhale, reach up. Bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Low belly is lifted, press the pelvis forward. Squeeze shoulder blades together, elbows nice and wide. Inhale here. Good, exhale. Give yourself a nice hug. Inhale, shoulder blades together, chest forward, pelvis forward in space. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Tuck the chin round, reach out through the elbows. Inhale, stretch it wide. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Good. Inhale, arms reach out. Left or right hand down, left arm reaches up, nice soft elbow, and then again make those nice shoulder rolls. Good, and slowly release your left hand down, shift over to the right, sweep your left knee back underneath you, plant your palms, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that that spine can be nice and long. Press down and away through your palms so that you feel your shoulder blades slide up towards your ears, but nod the head yes, shake the head no, so that the neck stays soft even though the shoulders are really active here. Lengthen your inner heels down to the mat. Take another breath. Good, now gaze forward towards your right thumb. Pick up your right leg. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step right foot to right thumb. Soften your left knee down. Lift the low belly, press down into the front foot. Inhale, reach up. Bend your elbows, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, left arm on top of right. Either grab for opposite shoulders, or maybe press the backs of your hands together, or maybe a full wrap for eagle arms. Doesn't matter which version you're doing, no matter what, stretch out through the elbows, feel the skin between your shoulder blades stretch wide. Lift the low belly, take an inhale. Exhale, bow the right side of the body inside of that right leg as though your forehead or the crown of the head can touch inside of that right foot. Keep reaching out through the elbows. Lift the belly into the back of the body. Curl your sit bones underneath you. Take another breath. Good. Inhale, unwind, plant your left hand underneath your shoulder. Right fingertips reach up to the sky. Couple of big circles. And release. Right hand down. Lift the back knee, step back to your down dog. Inhale, shift forward to high plank. Lower to your knees for some support. Stretch the ears out of the shoulders here. Lift the belly. Slowly lower all the way down in one piece. Lift the front tips of the shoulders away from the earth. Plant the tops of the feet. Walk your fingertips out in front of your shoulders. Inhale, lift up. Sort of like a seal cobra pose. Exhale, soften elbows down. Keep your forearms parallel. Inhale, press away, lift up. Stretch the heart forward, stretch the belly button forward. Exhale, tap elbows down. Inhale, press up. And exhale, walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. Lower the chest, forehead down. Tuck the toes, press into the knees. Inhale, lift up in one piece. Down dog, exhale. Gaze forward to your left thumb. Inhale, left heel to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, step left foot to left thumb. Soften right knee to mat. Lift the pit of the belly. Inhale, reach up. Bend the elbows, stretch the heart forward. And release your hands behind your low back. So something a little different for this side. Interlace your fingers. Maybe palms touch, maybe they don't. If this is too much for the shoulders right now, or your shoulders are always tight, maybe just reach behind you for opposite elbows and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe you just press the backs of your hands onto the low back. Pick what works for you. So either a bind, maybe you have a towel that you can grab, or a strap. Inhale, squeeze shoulder blades together, lift the low belly. Exhale, bow inside of that leg. The entire left side of your torso, including the shoulder, come inside of that leg and knee. Soften the crown of the head inside of that left foot, any amount. It's a direction that we're going. It's not a requirement to touch or get any lower than your body is ready to go today. Press down into that front foot. As we inhale, we slowly unwind, release the bind. Plant right hand underneath right shoulder. Inhale, left arm up. Couple of those nice big circles. Snap, crackle, pop for me and my shoulders for sure. Plant that left hand. Actually walk both hands to the top of the mat in front of that front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step forward, fold forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, fingertips land lightly on shins, bend your knees as much as you need to so that spine can be long, ears lengthen out of shoulders, hips lengthen out of shoulders. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees generously, roll up to rise as you inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bend elbows right wide, stretch your heart out of your low back. Squeeze shoulder blades together and release your hands down by your sides. Close your eyes for just a moment and notice how you feel now in comparison to when we started. I think it's important to check in throughout the practice. Constantly ask, do I feel better in my skin? Do I feel more in tune mentally? Live in your own experience of this practice. How do I feel emotionally now? Is something in my body starting to really ache or bother me? Do I need to back off? Do I need to push towards the edge a little further? Even in these really gentle practices, we can push and strive, or we can kind of back off and what actually helps us feel better. So check in with that now. Good. Gently float your eyes open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Bend your knees generously. Pick up your left foot, step it back. Soften left knee to mat. Left hand plants. So we have a couple of options here. First, right hand on top of right thigh. We press forward and down on that right leg so that the top shoulder rolls back and we come into this nice twist. And from here, low belly lifts and we send the hips forward and the pelvis forward in space any amount until we feel a nice opening across the front of this left hip and thigh. Now you can stay here if this is like your edge, stay. Or maybe you squeeze your left heel towards your butt. Take your right hand and reach back for that foot. If you are clasping onto that foot, or maybe you have a blanket or a strap that you can lasso the foot with, press your foot into your hand until you feel that right shoulder stretch back. And then gently pull the heel in towards the butt. So it's a push-pull resistance with that hand. If you're capturing the foot, if you're not, don't worry about it. No matter what, lift the low belly and use your butt curling under to press your hips forward any amount. Very slowly release the foot if you have it with control. Try not to let it snap back. Shift your hips back, walk your hands back, press your front leg straight or straightish, half splits. Flex all 5 of your right toes up towards your face. Flex the right thigh, so lift the kneecap. If the knee is bent, rad, don't worry. Straight is always a relative term. If you're hyper flexible and hyper mobile, I would suggest putting a micro bend in the knee so you're not hyperextending the leg. Now roll the right toes out to the right. Feel how that feels in the body. Roll the toes in and out, sort of flossing out that hip joint. And the next time the right toes are rolled out to the right, stay. If this feels like enough for you, hang out here, or maybe walk both hands over the right leg. Turn your heart and your torso to face to the right over the right hip and thigh, and lengthen the bones behind the ears and the ears out of the shoulders. Inhale, walk the hands back over if they are over to the right. Bend that front knee, come back into your low lunge. Plant your fingertips at the top of your mat, lift the back knee, step forward, fold forward. We're gonna do same thing, other side. Inhale, find a nice halfway lift. Bend knees generously, pick up your right foot, step it back, soften right knee to mat. Right hand underneath your shoulder, inside of the left foot, left hand on the left thigh. And again, lift the low belly, curl your sit bones under, use your glute muscles to press your hips forward, make it really active. And then from there, press your left hand forward and down to help roll that top shoulder back and lift and stretch the heart and chest. If this is enough, stay or squeeze your right heel to your butt. Reach back with that left hand. Maybe lasso it again with a belt or maybe a hand towel. Press the foot into the hand. You notice that as I do, I could just collapse forward here and kind of just passively hold this. And yes, I feel this in the front of my right thigh. I feel it in my hip. But what I really like is when I press the foot into the hand and I get that added stretch across the left side of my chest and shoulder. And then I can also bring the heel in towards my butt. So I get to benefit separate sides of my body and separate parts as well. If you do have that foot, slowly with control, release. Left hand lands inside of the left foot, shift hips back, press your front leg straight, flex toes up to the ceiling, remove fuzz from toes. And then you can roll your left toes out to the left and internally rotate the foot and leg, toes in. Roll toes out, externally rotate. Roll toes in. Find a spot that feels interesting. Stay curious. Find your edge, perhaps. What ultimately helps you to feel better in your skin in this moment, more specifically. Stay here, or again, walk hands over to the left. Lift belly away from thighs, stretch ears out of shoulders. So the more we create a long spine here, you might notice that just a little action in the neck and the ears lengthening the sides of the neck, you feel a greater stretch and more sensation across the back of that left leg. Good, excellent. Inhale, walk back through center. Come back into your low lunge. Plant your palms, sweep your left leg back underneath you. Lower to your bellies. Plant the tops of the feet, press down into the feet, lift the knees. Walk your hands out in front of you, elbows underneath your shoulders, or maybe slightly in front like I have. Press into your palms or fingertips. Inhale, lift up, long arms, stretch your belly forward. Maybe walk your hands out a little bit wider. Bend your elbows down towards the mat. Press your shoulder blades down through the chest to send your heart forward. And slowly lower and release. Plant palms underneath your shoulders. Press into your knees. Lift up. Bring knees together, big toes to touch. Sink hips to heels, child's pose, embryo variation. Bring the backs of your hands to rest by your feet. Forehead softens toward the mat. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drip off of your back to your ears. Plant your fingertips on either side of your shins. Press the earth away to sit up. Place your hands face down on your thighs. If this isn't a comfortable place for you to sit or a comfortable position, find one. Find a position where the belly can be soft, but the spine feels like it has the natural supported curves. That you can lengthen your ears out of your shoulders, feel the chest broaden. Shoulder blades and shoulders now melt down the back. And take a moment and check in with how you feel now. What gentle shifts and changes have occurred throughout this practice? And what is the quality of your experience in your body now, in your mind? Bring your palms to meet at your heart center and bow your head to your hands in a gesture of gratitude for this practice, for all that it brings to us, for this body that we have created that has carried us through this practice, this miraculous machine that we have built cell by cell. And for all of the benefits that this practice brings us, the community, the self-care, just feeling better in this body, in this experience. May we continue to show up. May we continue to do what helps us to feel better in our skin. And thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. I will see you next time. Please enjoy floating through the rest of your day.